Today, we are diving into 5 daily routines that are keeping you poor and weak. Hi, my name's Sandi Glandt. I am the host of the Slay Your Day podcast, and I'm so excited that you're here with me today. I wanted to talk about today's topic because it is so important that we focus on the things that are allowing us to grow financially, personally, physically, mentally, spiritually, all of the things. And today I'm talking about the 5 daily routines that make you poor and weak. And they're probably not the ones that you're thinking of. So I'm going to dive in, hit the subscribe button below because this content is coming to you every single week where I'm giving you free content on productivity, time management, work-life wellness, how to juggle all of the things, but show up as a wife, as a mother, as the boss babe that you are. So without further ado, let's dive into the 5 daily routines that are keeping you poor and weak. Number 1 is procrastination. Delaying important tasks is probably the number 1 thing that is holding you back. Inside my High Performance Accelerator Academy, I had conversations with the ladies this week, and we were talking about how the hardest thing to do is just get started. Like once you're in motion, whatever it is, the calls, the emails, the content, the videos, the social media, like it all gets easier, but you've got to get in motion first. So what is it that you're procrastinating on right now? I know when I'm saying this, so many of you are thinking about that thing that you're procrastinating on. So by procrastinating on work or something that's going on in your personal life, it is going to put such a hinder on your productivity, and it's going to lead to missed opportunities. It's going to lead to probably even more setbacks, both personally and professionally. So it's really, really important that you identify those areas and where you're procrastinating so you can get a handle on it, so you can get ahead of it and stop allowing it to allow you to be poor and weak. And I also want to share with you that there's actually 5 different types of procrastination, and we all fall under one of these 5 categories. So I'm going to read them to you, and I want you to identify which one of these categories you fall into. Okay, so here we go. Number 1, the number 1 type of procrastinator is the perfectionist. You feel like everything has to be perfect. You're like, I can't even start because I know that it has to be perfect, and I'm going to stress out about getting every single detail right. So if that's you, that's the thing that you have to identify is allowing you to not take action. That is the thing that is holding you and keeping you stuck. And that procrastination is coming up because you know you need to get every detail right. So when you can identify that and say, I know that these little details, or maybe they're not even little, they're just details that are holding you up, identify that procrastination is coming into play. And I promise that will also help to get you in motion because you can start identifying it rather than staying stuck there. Okay, number 2, the second type of procrastinator is the dreamer. Like you dream about making all of these ideal plans more than you take action. So I want you to identify, is this you? Are you dreaming up all of these amazing, wonderful ideas, but you just never get started? If that's you, you are the dreamer. Number 3, we have the avoider. So this is putting off the work so others can't judge you. So you're not judged when you end up making a mistake. So the avoider rather just avoid doing the work because they don't want to be judged for mistakes or shortcomings. But guys, guess what? At the end of the day, doing the work is what allows us to become better and do better and tweak and perfect. And I don't even like to say perfect, but just get better, right? Like 1% better every single day. So the avoider, you need to get into action. Number 4 is the crisis maker. So this person is deliberately pushing back work until the last minute. It's like there's always fires to be putting out and you just wait into the last minute to get things done. Maybe you have this voice in your head that says, well, I work better under pressure, or I work better, when there's deadlines approaching. If that's you, I want you to identify that you are the crisis maker and you are making these stories up in your own head to deliberately push back work until the last minute. So if that is you, you are the crisis maker. And number 5, we have the busy procrastinator, which I feel like a lot of people fall into this category, which is they have trouble choosing what to do with their time because everything seems of equal importance. Like, I'm busy, I can't do this thing because I have 5 other things to do over here, versus implementing the techniques and the strategies to really identify what's important, what's urgent, what needs to be done, and not in a manic manner, like not where you're pushing it off, not where it's at the last minute, at the right place at the right time. So you have time to troubleshoot, to fix, to do whatever you need to do. But the busy procrastinator is the person who's constantly putting things off and maybe even putting more on their plate to not have to do the thing that you need to do, right? So that's you. You are the busy procrastinator. So what I want you to do right now is comment below in the video and let me know which one of these procrastinator types are you? Are you the perfectionist? Are you the dreamer, the avoider, the crisis maker, or the busy procrastinator? Because we all fall into one of those categories. And typically once you can identify it, you'll start catching yourself in those patterns. And then it's easier to break that habit of avoiding or the crisis maker or the busy procrastinator, because you're going to catch on to your own little games. So that is just a little game I want you to play with yourself to see which category you fall into. So number 1 routine that is making you and keeping you poor and weak is procrastination. Number 2, the number 2 routine that is keeping you poor and weak is lack of exercise. And what I will tell you is that a sedentary lifestyle with little to no physical activity is going to weaken your body over time. You guys know I get up at 5 a.m. every single morning, not because I want to, not because I'm this morning person that just all of a sudden loved mornings. Like, I had to become that person. And by the way, you should check out that YouTube video where I actually teach you how to become a morning person, because that will show you and share with you exactly what I did to become a morning person. And what I'll also say is I did an entire other video on my sleep habits and what's really allowed me to become a morning person. So you're going to want to check out those 2 videos. I'll link them below, and then I'll also put a little pop-up here so you can check out those videos. But if you are feeling like you're not getting enough exercise, or it's something that's not built into your daily routine, you've got to find the deeper why as to how to incorporate this into your daily life. So it could be walking in the park with your kids. It could be hopping on the bike and going for a bike ride around the park. But whatever it is, it's got to be consistent, because the lack of exercise, if you're not getting the right exercise and movement into your daily life, that sedentary lifestyle is going to catch up with you, and you're going to lose your own physical strength and your stamina and just your overall well-being. So I really want you to make it a habit to start incorporating more of physical activity into your life. I'll share with you that for me, I weightlift Monday through Friday. So I work out with my Peloton app. I actually have another program that I work out to as well. I literally hit play for 30 minutes of strength training, and then I do about another 5 to 10 minutes of core work, and then about another 5 to 10 minutes of stretching. So altogether, it's about an hour's worth of time. And then in addition to that, usually right after school for Jake, or even right after dinner, the boys and I will go for a walk in the neighborhood just to get extra movement before we get ready for bed at night. So get that exercise in. If you are not, it is causing you to stay poor and weak. So make sure that you are incorporating some type of physical activity in your day-to-day lifestyle. Daily routine number 3 that is keeping you poor and weak is excessive screen time and an overconsumption of this thing right here, the phone, any kind of the screens, the TV. So it's really important to have the screen time where you're working and you're getting that really productive time in. But our bodies are just overly consumed with screens and TVs and computers and laptops and phones that we've gotten to this point where like everything seems like it's online, right? To actually like get off the phone and be in real life, it's not something that you see really anymore. And even if you are in real life with someone, they still are on their phones or they're still going live or, putting up a story on Instagram. Like we have lost that true physical in-person connection. So that excessive screen time, and again, I'm not talking about your day-to-day working on the computer or maybe your kids with their schoolwork. I'm talking about an overconsumption of screen time. And this could be even with our kids, like the video games, the TV, the iPads. So that is going to really hinder our productivity as well as our physical activity like we've been talking about. So I want you to figure out what your time block is going to be to get off the screens. For me, what I love to do is once I shut my workday down, I don't go on my phone. I don't go on social media. I have things that are posted or scheduled, but I don't go typically on my phone from the time that I shut my workday down till like after I get the boys down. I try to be really, really present. I have started sharing with you guys the dinners that I'm making. So I'll have my phone and I'll just record some of those, but then I try and put it away and just be with the kids because that's the time that I have with them. Like when Jake gets home from school, when I'm not working anymore. So I know my husband doesn't love it because sometimes he can't get a hold of me, but I am trying to be and have been very aware of like what it means to be present, turn the phones off, have that connection of like asking Jake, how was your school today? And asking like really fun questions. I have another bonus tip for the moms out there. So I will Google on my phone, like silly questions to ask a 6-year-old or like silly questions to ask my first grader. And it'll come up with the craziest things like, would you rather swim in a pool of pudding or Jell-O? What is the funniest thing mom says? Or what does dad always say? And it's hilarious to see what the kids tell you that you might not even be aware of, like the funniest things, like, but you're asking like these really silly, fun questions. So what I've been doing with Jake lately is instead of like just having him do a shower, get in his pajamas, we'll do like a calming bath time. He'll sit in like our like big jacuzzi tub and I'll sit there with him and just ask him these fun questions. And he loves it. He's like, Mom, ask me more. Like he likes to get creative and then we'll play a game where like I want to guess his answer and see if I'm right. So just having that connection time is really special, shutting off the phones and making sure that we're not getting an overconsumption of screen time. The number 4 daily routine that is making you poor and weak is overcomplicating your morning routine. So what I want to share with you here is that a successful morning routine is fully dependent upon your nighttime routine. So what I'm going to share with you down in the show notes is a link for all of my Amazon sleep essentials. I did an entire video on this because 1000% I know when I have a productive nighttime routine, my mornings are set up for success. My mornings are like my gym clothes are laid out, my workouts are ready to go, my vitamins are picked out. Like I have everything set up and ready to go. So you've got to stop overcomplicating your morning routines because the more you overcomplicate it, the less you're going to do. So you really have to get focused on just taking whatever that idea is of all the things that you want to get done and accomplish and really just streamline it. Like, what are the top 3 things that you need to accomplish in the morning? Maybe it's waking up, getting your workout in, making breakfast for the kids, and getting dressed. Like, boom, 3 things, right? Like, how can you take that and just make the complication of the process simplified? That's what we want to do, is just simplify that. So I highly, highly, highly recommend that you go check out my Amazon store for all of my sleep essentials, because again, like these are the reasons why I have such a great night's sleep and I am so productive, like right out of the gate first thing in the morning. So stop overcomplicating your morning routine and you will find that you will be so much more successful in your days. Number 5, the number 5 and final reason or routine that is making you poor and weak is, drum roll, you're focusing on all of the wrong things. You're busy versus productive, right? Like you're focusing on one thing that you think is moving the ball forward, but essentially it's just causing you more work. It's like what we talked about in the procrastination and the 5 types of the procrastination styles, where you're just the busy procrastinator. Like you'll do 5 things over here to avoid one thing that's like really a needle mover over here. So what you can do here is when you find yourself doing this, I want you to start to look and identify what are those things that you're avoiding? What are the things that you're taking your attention off of? And you're like, you know what? I'm going to focus on this over here because I think this is the right thing to do versus the thing I know is going to allow me to move forward. And I have 2 amazing things that I want to share with you right now. Number 1 is my Big Money Moves training. So if you go to sandraglandt.com/big money, I have an entire training on how you can figure out what your needle movers are. You can figure out exactly what those things are that are going to move you forward, allow you to work maybe just a few hours a day, but get laser focused on the needle movers so you can actually make more money, have more time, and do all the things that you love. Who doesn't want to do that? So definitely go check that out. sandraglandt.com, www.sandraglandt.com/big money. I will link it below. And then the second thing I want to share with you is my academy. It's my High Performance Accelerator Academy, where the women come in every single week and get the systems, strategy, and support on how to work smarter, not harder in business. The systems, the AI, the technology, the applications, the workflows, the SOPs, all the things that if you don't have these in place, I promise you, you're leaving so much money on the table, you're leaving so much opportunity on the table, and you're wasting so much time. Imagine if you could have freedom in your life to travel, to have this business that you get to work on your terms because you have systems in place, automations in place, everything works and flows together. Like that's possible. And you get to do it on your terms, which is freedom. So I really want you to go head over to sandraglandt.com/HPAA. I'll link it down below. And actually, you can even go to sandraglandt.com/academy and you will get the link there as well. And I'll even put a special down below in the comments that I will do just for those of you that are here listening to this podcast on this special, because we are about to go into a new year. Like at the time that this podcast comes out, we will be in November, you guys. November. There is 2 months left in the year, and November and December can be 2 of the biggest months that you have in business if you play the game right. If you know how to set up the systems, the automations, all of the things in your business, your team, so you can maximize the last 2 huge opportunities of the year in those 2 months. So I'm going to, again, tell you to head over to sandraglandt.com/academy so you can check out the High Performance Accelerator Academy. We have had women who work 4 hours a day, 4 days a week, making multiple 6 figures. This is what I do in my business. I'm able to be a present mom and wife, run my business, have my own personal self-care time. So again, like if you're listening to this and thinking it's not possible, head over to the website. You're going to see and hear the testimonials of women who have done this and are doing it, and it's possible for you too. So I just wanted to leave you with that. Again, these next 2 months are going to be filled with so much opportunity. If you miss the boat and you don't identify what these things are to really maximize the next 2 months of opportunity, it's not that it's like forever lost and like you'll never be able to do it again, but now is really the time to maximize the last 2 months of the year before we go into the new year. So what better time than now to go check it out, get signed up, and take advantage of that special. So again, these 5 tips, these 5 daily routines are what is making you and keeping you poor and weak. And if we want to show up as women in this world who are powerful, who are capable, who have the opportunity to have the time, the money, the freedom, the options to create whatever it is that we want on our own terms. We've got to banish these 5 really bad, and they're routines, but they're also time suckers, and they're just really bad habits to have in place. So we got to get rid of the procrastination, the lack of physical activity and exercise, this screen time, the overconsumption of the screen time, overcomplicating your morning routine, and focusing on all the wrong things. Again, inside the Academy, I'm going to show you how to do all of these plus so much more, because I believe in you, and I believe that when money is in the hands of women who are looking to change the world, we can do incredible things for our families, ourselves, and our communities. So I hope that you join us, and I want you to still comment below and let me know which type of procrastination personality are you. The perfectionist, the dreamer, the avoider, the crisis maker, or the busy procrastinator. You're one of them. Which one are you? All right, guys, until next time, my name is Sandi Glandt, and this is the Slay Your Day podcast. Go out and slay your day.